YouTube world? It's Monte from Raw Trucking. Hey, look, so I'm gonna get straight to the point. Last couple of years, I've been soaking up different content, YouTube, Facebook, especially them Facebook groups, man. Them damn Facebook groups are a trip. But hey, look, it's a lot of misleading information out there when it comes to trucking. All right, no doubt about it. You can make some good money in trucking. I'm not here to dispute that. But to make it seem as it's so easy, like it's a walk in the park, see, that's bullshit. All right. So here at Raw Trucking, we making it our mission to be able to put out some content that's worthwhile and that you can really hang your hat on. Okay. So a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm Monte with Raw Trucking. Me and my partner, we decided to start our own authority a couple years ago. All right. My job as part of this company was to run the logistics and everything on the back office of running your authority. All right. So eventually we were able to grow that to a dispatch company. I'm a broker agent as well as I'm a licensed insurance agency. All right. And I focus only on commercial policies for trucking companies because I want to help educate the masses on what it really takes to run your own authority. All right. So it is very important because I get calls every day from people who made detrimental mistakes in their company that they weren't advised about from the beginning. All right. And once you get those numbers in your name, you just put a lot of responsibility and overhead on your plate. All right. So look, this industry naturally preys on new authorities. The person if you talk to anybody who's been doing this long enough, they will tell you the person with the authority and the one who owns the equipment is the one who takes all the losses. Okay. Those gross numbers may look great, but when you take all those expenses out, you could be looking at little to none left over very quickly in this industry. And nobody's going to be here to help you when those times come. The advice that you took from that person that you never met and you didn't verify for yourself, it could cost you in the back end. All right. So you got to understand that this is not corporate America. This is a very cutthroat industry. And your mistake could be somebody else's big commission check. And so that's why we're here today to start talking about insurance, because this is one of the cornerstones to your business. And if you don't understand this specifically, it could be a nightmare. All right. So now the topic at hand for today is using an independent agency to get your insurance quote or going directly to the insurance company themselves. Okay. So here's the catch. All right. You're not saving any money by going directly to Progressive or any other big carrier of insurance. Okay. At the end of the day, your premium is calculated by certain factors, and going through an agency or going direct to the company is not one of those factors, because agents get paid off of a commission of your premium. So it doesn't matter how you get the premium. There's not extra money tapped on by going through an agency. Okay, so understand that first and foremost. There's a myth out here that you save money by going direct. Let me tell you why that's completely false and why that's bad for a trucking company, because we have specific needs that we need in trucking versus just getting a regular auto policy. Okay, so relationships matter in this business. Okay, and you're going to need your agent a lot, because there's going to be constant changes in your policy. That's if you're trying to scale, you want to grow. This is not going to be a one-time conversation you have with your agent. You need to have somebody that you can trust, somebody that understands what you're looking for. Okay? Because when you call in directly to, let's say, Progressive sells all types of insurance. The person you may be speaking with may be just got off the phone, selling a personal policy to something that has nothing to do with trucking. So when you're calling them, all they do is they look at you as a number, because commercial policies and trucking specifically are much bigger premiums than some of these other policies that they may sell throughout a given business day. All right. So when they see these big numbers come across, they're not interested in helping you save any money, because they don't have to compete for your business because you call them directly. All right. And they have no incentive to give you any discounts or to let you know where you may be able to adjust your coverages to get a lower down payment. Okay. But that independent agent, they only get paid if you chose to get the policy through them. Okay, so if you do your due diligence and you go ask certain questions that you know anybody who knows something about trucking should know, and just get a good feel for that person, for that agent. If they pick up the phone quickly or they always communicate with you very well, then you know that this is somebody that I can invest in, because this is an investment. Best believe that I get calls every day. Oh, I hate my agent. They don't answer the phone. Or I went direct and it takes me 45 minutes to get somebody on the phone when I'm trying to get a simple request. Trust me, speed is the name of a game in trucking. All right. So if you have any changes, let's say you're trying to hire a driver, right? But it takes you days to get in touch with your agent or go through direct through the company. Now that driver that you have been waiting to sign on, jump ship. Because if you know, like I know, drivers, when they ready to get hired, they ain't waiting around, and you're not getting any contact and let them know that they can officially be hired, that's detrimental to your company. But you won't even think about this if you're brand new into this industry and you haven't even considered some of these factors. And so now you got them telling you, hey, you got this Joe Blow company telling you can save a couple hundred by going through them. But what they didn't tell you is that, hey, now anytime you want to contact me, it's going to take about 3 business days to get me on the phone, because I already got your commission from your policy. I have no incentive to want to service your calls every day anymore. All right. And that typically is the response that you'll get when dealing with a big carrier instead of using an agent who only gets paid if you choose to go through them. So they have more of an incentive to maintain that relationship with you throughout the duration of your policy. You see what I'm saying? So it's important that you're not just checking for, well, who can save me $200-300 a year on my premium? Because in trucking, I mean, we're talking about the average policy right now in today's current market is easily, for a new authority, is anywhere from 19 to about 30,000 a year. Okay. And the one thing about these policies are they go through an underwriting process. So you can live in the same city as somebody and have the same equipment, and you guys can both come out with different quotes. There is no one all be all way to ensure you get the absolute lowest quote, because it depends on too many different variables. All right. So that's why when you guys want to shop around and you want to get just a ballpark quote, that doesn't exist really in insurance purpose, because there's so many factors that rely upon what your quote is going to be. All right. And we all know that insurance is a scam. I mean, it just is what it is. But if you want to have an authority, we got to play ball. I mean, there's no way around it. All right. So the best thing that you can do is get educated. All right. Don't be in such a rush to get your authority right away that you don't take the time to do your proper due diligence. Because I'm going to be honest with you. If you're not willing to do what it takes and put in the work to research every nook and cranny of what it's like to own your own authority, you really shouldn't get one, because it's a lot of work. All right. It's not just about picking the best loads and being on time and maintaining your equipment. Yes, that's very important, obviously, but you could do all of those things right. But if you forget all the other compliance tasks and the miscellaneous things that come along with having your authority, it could easily put you out of business. All right. And, the name of the game when we start our authority is to be free, is to, make all this money and all that good stuff. And that is possible. But listen to me. It's very important that you understand these fundamentals, right? All right. So now if you're dealing with an insurance agency that doesn't know anything about trucking, how can they suit your needs? All right. You're calling them. They just got off the phone and did a residential policy. They just did a commercial contractor's policy. And now here you are with your trucking company. You're just another number. They don't understand your business model. All right. They don't understand that, hey, sometimes I may need to make changes every week. You may get new trailers, drop trailers, add drivers. You may need a COI with a cert holder. All right. For all my people who are already in the industry, you know what I mean. If your agent doesn't know these things, that's not who you should be signing up with. Okay. So I'll give you a good real-time example. I'll give you a couple of them actually. So the first one, if you're out here running freight on the load board, yes, I know everybody supposedly hates the load board, but I'm here to tell you as a broker, everybody uses the load board at one point in time or another. Okay. It just makes sense because you're not going to have direct freight all over the country. It doesn't work like that, especially for a new authority. Okay. So now let's say you're on that load board and you find a good load And now this broker tells you, hey, I need to be listed on your COI as a cert holder. Okay. So now you're like, okay, I wasn't expecting that, because if you haven't already been booking your own loads, you won't know what that means. But even if you do know what that means, what if it takes you 3 hours to get your agent on the phone to do that simple COI with a cert holder? You think that broker's gonna hold that load for you 3 hours? If it's a good load, it ain't waiting 3 hours. All right. So now just something simple just like that cost you money. All right. But now you've already locked in to this agreement with this policy through this specific agent. Okay. So there's not like you can just jump ship the next day. Now they can't hold you to this contract. However, it looks bad on a new authority if you're trying to policy hop, because when it comes back time for a renewal, you better believe that that's going to be a factor. All right. So I always advise newer authorities, don't be so quick to think you can just shop around. First off, you don't have as many options as you think you have. All right. There's a big misconception out here that you feel like these new authority holders, you think somebody owes you something. You're brand new into one of the most high risk industries that there is. Nobody's just trying to jump to the bit to insure you and have to account for whatever mistakes you or your drivers may make on this road. I'm not sure if y'all been paying attention, but wrecks and negligence in trucking is at an all-time high. There's even rumors of insurance minimums going up. All right. So I'm here to tell you that when you're a new authority, you're at the mercy of whoever wants to give you a policy. You don't have a plethora of options. Okay. So you keep that in mind before you so quick to sign up with your first offer and you haven't properly vetted them. Like I said, even when you go through multiple agencies, they're typically going to use majority of the same carriers, because based on where you live in the country and your specific requirements, for example, let's say you're a newer CDL holder, you definitely don't have as many options as a new authority. Okay. But if you have a couple years, let's say 2 or more years on your on your CDL, and now you're starting your authority, that opens you up to more options. But that doesn't compare to a passive investor who's starting an authority and doesn't plan on being the driver. You see what I'm saying? So with all these variables involved, you definitely have to be dealing with somebody who understands trucking. Okay. You yourself has to understand all of these requirements so you even know what questions to ask. All right. Because I've talked to so many people who they don't know anything about the policy. They don't know anything about the agency. They just signed up and here they are. And now 4 months later, they're not understanding why they can't make any money. You know, they hired a driver who was their friend who had 9 points on their license. You see what I'm saying? And now just by that decision, your insurance it makes it to where you can't be profitable in your business. All right. So it's stuff like that has to be considered. All right. You need to consider all of these different options before you just get out there. Truthfully, you need to have insurance in mind before you even go buy that truck. Because truthfully, the value of the truck doesn't cause that much of a difference in your premium. It's more going to be the drivers. But to that point, what you could do to help yourself in advance is you can go out and get the MVR of a potential driver that you plan to hire. Or if you are a driver, get your own MVR and just make sure that there's nothing on there, any infractions that you know will drive up your insurance. All right. Couple little small other things. Credit. Listen, credit. If you're getting in trucking period, you might as well have your credit as high as it can be anyway. But that's a whole nother video, whole nother time. Okay. But your credit can definitely help you because remember I told you, you're going to go through the underwriting process to get this policy. So they're going to be digging into who you are as a person, as the owner. All right. So having all your ducks in a row definitely helps you get a better premium. All right. So, hey, once again, I just wanted to come to you. This is going to be the first video of many. I'm your guy. If you're looking for commercial trucking insurance, you need to be with somebody that understands the business, and who better than somebody who's in the business themselves. All right. So I've also put together an authority guide. Okay. It's a 30-day authority planner, give you some insurance tips and just the whole overall process of getting your authority. All right, you can get that down below. It'll be a link to that. But hey, check in. Make sure you like and subscribe this video. Subscribe to the channel. I promise you, over here at Raw Trucking, we're going to be giving you the raw, unfiltered truth about this trucking business. All right. And we're really out here trying to spread some positivity and make sure that we got a good understanding of this business. All right. So with all that being said, until next time, family, I'm out of here. Appreciate you for your time. Make sure you tap in below and stay tuned for the next videos.